Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keep Indiana Learning. Today, we are featuring programs across the state of Indiana that are helping support building teacher and educator capacity. I am thrilled to be joined this morning by Dr. Shelly Furuness from Butler University, here to tell us a little bit about the teacher-led, teacher-ed program they have going on at Butler. Welcome, Dr. Furuness. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about this teacher-led, teacher-ed program?
I would love to. We're very excited about it. The Teacher Ed program actually has been in development for a while now. It was born out of conversations with alumni from our Butler University middle secondary education program. A group of teachers from across disciplines and across school districts that I keep in touch with as working in their, in their schools. They began helping me to develop a virtual PLC. And that virtual PLC was aimed at helping to support our pre-service teachers as a way to kind of fill the gaps between theory and practice. We started building this in 2019, and then we launched it in 2020.
Wow.
As soon as we launched it, we had young alumni from school districts asking if they could be included in this virtual PLC. We had those teacher leaders out in the buildings who had helped create it. Is there any way I could get some of our new hires that I'm working to onboard into our department? Could I get them access to this? And what we discovered is because we had built this for a class, we had a hard time figuring out a way to get access to people. But we knew we had a great, really benefiting teachers, and we wanted to find a way to make that accessible to more people. So we began working with our Butler Transformation Lab, and they helped us to rebuild this into something beautiful, functional, accessible, and ready to share with schools. And while we were building that, we also discovered the need for something more foundational, something that would help because of the number of new teachers that were being onboarded as emergency permits, as alternatively credentialed, as people who were stepping in with really good intentions, but we wanted to make sure that we were making good impact. And so we also designed and are ready to launch a foundation module to support those teachers who are coming in to fill this big need that we have right now.
That's really fascinating. And can you tell us a little bit more about how educators went into creating and building this pathway?
Absolutely. So Butler's College of Education, our traditional program, is really steeped in experiential learning, in practice-based, in field experience. And when we do our field experience, to partner our pre-service teachers with great mentors who kind of share that same language, share the same beliefs and philosophies about how we educate. But the more our alumni were spreading out, we were looking for ways to create opportunities to our pre-service teachers stay connected with alumni who were not just at the schools we were visiting. And so this teacher-led initiative came from ways in which practicing teachers were staying in contact with their teacher preparation, helping to continue to solve their problems of practice, helping to bring what tensions they were exploring back to teacher education to help figure out ways to solve it. So we did that partnership. Our teachers were in districts from around the state. Those came from Pike Township and Carmel High School and IPS schools and Westfield, Washington schools, Noblesville schools. So we were teachers from a wide range of school contexts with a wide range of experience and tensions that they were trying to solve, and helped us to create the content, to help curate it, to help create those experiences, and to help translate for us theory into practice and back again.
That's really fascinating. And I think we have a graphic here that you can share. And looks like I'll need you to share that again with us. But it really goes through and walks through, there we are, the modules that you were talking about with the foundations and then going above and beyond. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about how this is structured?
Absolutely. So the foundations module is the module that we created in response to this teacher shortage need that we have. That foundation module is also curated by our practicing teachers, helping us to think back to what are the most essential skills, the most just-in-time information that we need to be successful. The foundations module is by no means everything a teacher needs to be well prepared, but it's everything they need to get started. It's the essential lessons that they need to get started in their classroom and hopefully stay in the classroom. The foundations module, participants will come into this and they will experience lessons in development, because we know that one of the most important things that we need to do when we begin teaching is to understand who's in front of us. So that developmental theory, while you may think, well, why is theory an essential thing? Well, we need to understand who's in front of us, what behaviors are typical or not, so that we can then move into developing classroom skills. That's the second big module that students experience, or participants would experience in that module. Classroom management, we know nothing else will be done unless we have strong relationships with students. And so the classroom management model actually asks a lot of questions for you to think about, ways in which you are imagining your class to run, and then what are the steps you need to take to get there. Once you've thought about that, it moves into some essentials on lesson planning processes, and then that moves into classroom assessment practices. And then that module wraps up with technology-rich classrooms, so that we are thinking about ways in which our learning management systems and some of the tech tools can help us manage our workflow a little better. So that's what the foundations module is. And it is, again, geared toward novice teachers who need quick crash course, reminder, refresher. It is targeted to our colleagues who are maybe hired on Friday. Thank you for coming in, and being asked to start on Monday. So we've built the foundations module to be really what we think is a robust, full full day workshop that you could think about over the weekend and get started with on Monday. Once you would do that foundations module, if you are teaching in a content area, the rest of our modules, those content or discipline specific modules, are really deeply robust, fully teacher created, fully teacher developed content pedagogy. So it's deep and rich practice in all the areas of teaching your content area. So that we see as a great audience for practicing teachers, practicing teachers who are looking to refresh some ideas, some classroom teachers who have been practicing, but maybe a department of one, or a very small department if you're somewhat isolated. Or we also know that many teachers are being asked to stretch across their disciplines now. If you're a STEM teacher, if you came in teaching math and now you're being asked to teach some science concepts as well, we feel like these modules really will support their based on our professional standards and the expectations of what are most knowledge, skills, and dispositions to teach in your content discipline.
Fascinating. So do you recommend this for not only the new teachers or emergency licensed teachers, but would this be beneficial for secondary, elementary, middle school? Tell me a little bit about that person who might find benefit with these modules.
Yeah, it does come out of the middle secondary program developmental framework, and that framework goes from 5th grade through 12th grade plus. And what we would say about that is anyone who is teaching in a content specific departmentalized, discipline-specific way would benefit from this. The developmental theory is really concentrated around the upper elementary, middle grades, and high school grades. So we do think this is a wide range of support for multiple disciplinary ages or discipline-specific ages across multiple developmental landscapes.
Wonderful. And this seems really self-managed and self-paced. Is it an all online program that I could take if I was going to do this on my own time when I had time to work through these?
It is. It is designed specifically that way to be self-paced, in time, able to go back to lessons that you need to go back to. The teachers have curated and asked prompting questions along the way to help you connect with that. And it is a subscription-based model, so you can you're not required to start with the foundations, but the foundations is a good primer to get you refreshed in the language that will show up in the discipline-specific or content-specific modules as well.
That sounds fantastic. So what would the next steps be if I'm an individual educator looking to take a self-paced online program like this, or if I'm a school or a district who'd like to have a cadre of teachers working through this?
Yeah, we would love for you to reach out. We on our graphic here, there's a way for you to scan that QR code and contact Liz Jackson, who is our partnership development person. And when you reach out, we will find a way to get you connected to the support that you need, whether you are an individual in a department or in a small school, a large school. There's a way for us to get you connected and supported. And that's the goal of this, to be a responsive support to teachers, not a reactive piece here, but something that can support teachers wherever they're at whatever stage they're at, in whatever way they might need.
This is really wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing this program to Keep Indiana Learning and sharing it with our network. We look forward to many years of helping support our new teachers and educators out there and really rebounding and making a very vital and powerful force of educators across the state. So thank you for being a part of that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, everyone. And please learn more at keepindianalearning.org.